Hey guys, it's Donna Redowitz. Happy Monday. I hope that you and your families are safe, and I hope that this stay at home order hasn't taken too much of a toll on your emotional and your mental health because I know here, I live in New York, it's been a tough time, and staying inside has certainly been rough, especially as the weather's been getting nicer. I do socially distance, get out there and try to get some fresh air, and I hope that you do too. And I wanted to come in today to share a couple of things with you that may help keep you going and the stamina that you need to be building a healthy life for yourself, to be creating an amazing life for yourself. Because one thing that stands true is that you've got to believe in yourself. If you believe that there's a better life for you or a more enhanced version of your life, and if you believe that there is the possibility to meet and attract your soulmate, well, then God in the universe is going to conspire to close that gap for you and bring you the things that you focus on and where you're paying attention to. But conversely, if you believe that this isn't possible, or you believe that, that you're just destined to be in bad relationships, and that you're just destined, that there's no way that you could get past that anger, or people are telling you that you've got to spend 12 years in therapy and that's the only way through it, well, that's what you're going to believe, and that's what will show up in your life. And as a therapist, and I enjoy therapy, as a matter of fact, that's the reason why I became a therapist, but I'm here to sort of bust a myth here that you have to spend years and years and years in therapy. You see, when you're coming out of divorce, or when you're coming out of the initial breakup, you're emotionally distraught. And that's the time where it's not time to do inner work, right? If you're in a car accident, you don't want to go to the hospital and have them tell you, well, maybe you could just meditate, or maybe go to acupuncture. No, you're going to want to see the surgeon, and you're going to want to get those bones repaired. It's the same thing. When you first are in a relationship or coming out of one, that's not the time to do the inner work. You need to do the repair. You need to heal. And that's where therapy comes in, and it really serves as such a wonderful place because it allows you to heal. But here's where the issue is. Once you're out of that, and now you're ready to look and create your amazing life and create your future, what therapy tends to do is have us focus on the problem at the moment. It has us focus on what the problems are of the past and making some sense out of it. And again, there's value and understanding to having awareness towards things. But when you're focusing on it, that's what you're creating. So that's when coaching needs to come in, because now we want to focus on what it is you want and the life that you want to create. Because you're not going to create a life you want using the same thinking, the same methodology, and the same behaviors that came from your past. What we know is that didn't work for you. That has just not worked out the way that you thought. I'm not minimizing it. I'm not saying it didn't hurt. It absolutely hurt. But coming from a place, it just didn't turn out the way you wanted. So you could either choose to continue looking at what's wrong, looking at the problem, looking at the past, trying to make sense of it, trying to figure out how to give yourself closure, trying to figure out how not to think the thoughts. And then when those thoughts come in, now you get mad or angry at yourself because you're thinking the thoughts that you didn't want to think. And then it turns into this whole loop. So there comes a time where we just need to put that aside, and concurrently, I'm not saying not to leave therapy, but concurrently with a therapeutic relationship is enter into a coaching relationship where now you get to focus on who you are, what you want to achieve. Because if you're going to achieve different things and new things, then we need to go in and need to give you new tools. And I'm excited to announce that coming up May 1st, I have the Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond Mastermind Program. And I've never offered the program in this way before. Normally, I have an open enrollment. So I work with a certain amount of women at a certain period of time. And usually the women that I work with at the time of their graduation, I open up another slot to work with someone else. But what I have found is in this time of being so alone, the element of community has really played a role in a woman's ability to liberate herself and really step into that life that she knows is hers to have, just doesn't know how to get there and doesn't have the right mentor, the right tools, or the right community to help her. So beginning May 1st, I am launching the Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond Mastermind Program. It's going to be 12 weeks of awesomeness which is a combination of one-to-one coaching, group coaching, and community with your sisters. Because if you're at the space right now where you just know that life is just not meant to be lived this way. I'm not saying you have a bad life. I'm not saying that pieces of your life aren't put together and they're not, you may have good friends and family and maybe work is going well, but there's something missing, that there's thoughts that keep you sort of stuck in the past, and there's ruminating thoughts that keep you thinking about the past more than you're thinking about your future. I like to say you have to be more in love with your future than you are of your past. And if you're ready to once and for all eradicate that pain, and once and for all eradicate those ruminating thoughts that have you thinking toxic thoughts about your past, and have you thinking victimized thoughts, or just thoughts that aren't empowering to you and have prevented you from stepping into the life that you know that is yours, and that is a fullness in self and loving self. It's a fullness in relationships with people, places, and things that are around you. It's showing up and showing out and stepping up in work, and finally getting to that place where you're being compensated for you the way that you know you're showing up in the world. Everything begins and ends with you. The way that you are vibrationally showing up in the world is going to show up in the compensation that you're getting from work. It's going to show up in the people, places, and things that are around you. It's going to show up in the happiness that you're able to experience, because it all begins and ends with you, and it all begins and ends with how you think about something. Because here's a secret I'm going to share with you. It's not necessarily the circumstance that is causing you the pain. It's how you are thinking about the circumstance that is causing you the pain. And when you have a negative thought towards a circumstance, now that's going to lead you into a belief system, and then you're going to take actions based upon that belief system. But that belief system may not be accurate. That belief system may not be true. You're driving your life based on emotion. You're not going to do that anymore. We're going to drive our life based upon what we know to be true to create and manifest an ideal life. And that means literally recreating ourselves from the inside out, challenging those belief systems, and any belief systems that no longer serve us, we're getting rid of. That's it. They're done. They've had their time. They no longer deserve rent in our space. We're going to be looking at relationships and what we really desire out of a relationship. And from the relationships of our past, what could we take from that served us, and the things that hadn't served us that no longer do, let's get rid of those. We're going to look at where we want to go in our careers, what's important to you, what direction do you want to go in, what type of life do you want to be leading. All of these pieces we're going to be putting together where are going to give you sort of the runway to your life. So if this is something that is of interest to you, in the comments below, I'm going to have a breakthrough call that you could spend 12 minutes with me or so. We'll kind of chat. We'll see where you're at. I have plenty of time in my calendar that I opened up this week, and would love to chat with you. And if it's a good fit, I'll invite you into the program. And if we feel there's a better resource for you, I'm all about that. I'm not about just driving people into the program. My goal is to liberate you. That's my goal. My goal is all about liberating you to live your best life. My goal is to reach millions of women over the next few years, because there's no reason a woman should be suffering today with a soul fracture that's from divorce. No reason at all, because that soul fracture is so insidious that it keeps a woman stuck. And if you feel stuck and you feel it's time to become unstuck, then let's talk. Maybe there's something and maybe there's not. I don't know until I speak with you. But then if we are a good fit, I'll let you know. And if not, I'll let you know that too. So with that said, the invite to have a call with me is below, and I'll talk to you later. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.